Oh, oh, come on in. Come in, sit down, make yourself comfortable, get yourself a wee drink. Oh my goodness, this is so unexpected. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this video here in the festive season. I hope you're all enjoying your Christmas holidays so far. I am not yet stopped, but I will be doing soon. Tonight, I prepare to go see the 1975 at the Hydro, closing out the year with a bang. This has been a great year for live events for me. I've been to lots of wrestling events and seen lots of movies and seen lots of theatre. And we're closing out tonight with seeing one of my favourite bands, the 1975, performing live here on December the 19th. I'll probably post this tomorrow on December the 20th. I wanted to do this one. I'm so busy right now doing assessments and exams and shows and stuff like that and going to concerts. Because obviously that's just what I do. And I wanted to do this countdown especially because, you know, it's a big deal. I've been doing a lot of countdowns this year and it's been a huge year for me in terms of watching movies. So I thought, okay, we'll do a top 10 Christmas films when it comes to the festive season. I've got the calendar here. We're running out of days because Christmas is very, very soon. Very, very soon. It is at the weekend. So I thought I'll put it up on the 20th. That'll be a nice sort of rounded number to start with. And as you probably know by now, by seeing the title, I probably just said it about a minute ago. This is Top 10 Christmas Movies from myself, Chris Moffat from the Good Bit Podcast. All information in the description box. On a wee break just now, but we'll be back in the new year for the Good Bit Podcast, doing lots of things, reviewing the year of film of 2016. A great year for film, by the way. Okay, so here we go. Top 10 Christmas, kind of top 15. I have my top 15. But I'll run through my 15 to 11. So, top 15 favourite Christmas movies. And please, you know, if you've not watched any of these so far this year, that's highly unlikely. But if you've not at all, and you're going to binge them all in a week, watch them in this order and see if you agree with me. So, number 15, I have Die Hard. It is a Christmas film, but it's not really. So that's why I put it at number 15. Love the film, saw it for the first time this year. Watched it twice this year. Fucking awesome film. Bruce Willis. 14, Miracle on 34th Street. 13, Bad Santa. 12, Fred Claus. And number 11, The Muppets A Christmas Carol. So there's my 15 to 11 films that I love and you know this time of year, but just missed out on the top 10. And by the way, I should say that I have not seen some classics. I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life. I've never seen Santa Claus the movie, and I've never seen what's the other one? Christmas Story. So I've not seen those three. I've not seen other ones like Arthur Christmas and stuff. But those three, you know, are big ones that people consider classics. I've never seen, so they're not going to be on the list. I'm sure Die Hard would have got chucked if I'd seen It's a Wonderful Life, but who knows? So here we go. Top 10. Number 10 is controversial, but I had to put it on there. Number 10 is Planes, Trains and Automobiles. Now, mellow out, right? It's not really a Christmas film because it happens around Thanksgiving, you know. But it's a holiday film, you know, and I watched it for the first time 2 years ago, I think. Rewatched it again last year, and then again, you know, it was the first sort of holiday film that I watched this year. Watched it a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot just how much I love this movie. It's one of my all-time favourite comedies, one of my favourite movies ever. It's just a classic, and you know I love John Candy and I love Steve Martin so much. He's one of my favourite comedic actors ever, and it's such a nice story. And it's one of those films. It's like a daft film, you know, but it gets to the end and it's like a nice sort of emotional message to the film as well. It's like a wee hidden meaning. I like that in films. So it is not necessarily a Christmas film. It's a holiday film. It's a festive film. It happens sort of late November, early December time. There's snow, you know. Steve Martin's trying to go home for the holidays. So it's kind of Christmassy, but it's not necessarily, you know, you wake up on Christmas morning and open presents sort of movie. But that's why, you know, if it was set, you know, late December, this would be in my top 5. But because it's not, I had to put it number 10. I wouldn't even put it on the list because it's not really a Christmas film. But because I love it so much, and it is a holiday film, I had to put it on there. And that's why it's number Ty Dillinger. Number 9, I have The Grinch. A childhood favourite for me. The Jim Carrey version, by the way. I don't know if there is another version. I think there's an animated one. But yeah, it's just Jim Carrey, physical comedy at its absolute finest. As he is in all of his films, but you know, especially when he's playing some sort of mad creature like the Grinch. And he scared me as a kid, you know. He scared me. He did. I've not seen it in a while. I tried to watch it last year, but I was very distracted, so I'm going to try and watch it again this year. But yeah, I had to put it on there for a childhood sort of nostalgia pick. Number 8, one that I watched for the first time this year, and I loved it so much I put it as number 8, is Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And baby Anakin as well is in this one, Jake Lloyd. I didn't know that. Really good film, like just a nice Christmas film about a father who just really wants to get his son, you know, the one thing he wants, the top thing on his list, and he just can't get it, and it's like a frustration that he can't, you know, he can't get over. He can't find the toy anywhere. So he goes to all these different measures, and it ends up he becomes, you know, the character in this parade, Turbo Man. And because of that, you know, he picks a child up, and he picks his own kid up, and the kid doesn't notice his dad, and he gives him the toy, and it's just a beautiful film. It's, you know, definitely one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best films, and I loved it so much I had to put it on the list at number 8. And I'm sure, you know, as I watch it over the next few years, it might go up the list higher, but you know, the rest of them I love too much anyway. But yeah, number 8 is Jingle All the Way. They made a second one, Jingle All the Way 2, with Larry the Cable Guy, who I've never heard of before in my life. Other than that, and I think he was on WWE at one point. And I heard it was atrocious, so I will not be watching that. But yeah, love the film. Number 7, Trading Places, with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. What a brilliant comedy. You just love how, you know, Christmas films just bring the comedy out of everything, you know. It's about a man's livelihood totally ripped away from him and given to, you know, a man on the street. And, you know, the lives switch, and it's like a bet between, you know, it's a bet between two guys, and you know, the one can't survive the other sort of thing. And it's a horrible film when you think about it. It's a horrible, you know, plot and stuff, but it's such a hilarious movie. And what film, you know, with Eddie Murphy can you complain about? Do you know what I mean? Dan Aykroyd's great as well. I love him in the Blues Brothers and stuff. Yeah, fucking brilliant, man. I watched it for the first time last year. I thought it was okay. And then this year I watched it again, and I just thought it was great. Just such a good film. The scene in the train where they're all dressed up as different people to try and fool the guy who was switching the suitcases, just hilarious. So number 7 is Trading Places. Number 6 is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. This is one, a couple of years ago when I started, I was like, okay, I'm going to start watching films more often, and they're going to be more serious and stuff. I watched, you know, I really want to watch more Christmas films. I watched the Santa Claus trilogy, and I fucking loved it. I just thought it was great. I just think it's such an underrated series. Tim Allen's great. He's in Christmas with the Cranks, which I started watching and swiftly turned off because I thought it was boring. But this one's great. I feel like if you're a big actor and you're known for a Christmas film, you can't be in more than one. You know, it'd be weird if Will Ferrell was in another Christmas film. I don't know, it's just me. So I think, you know, Tim Allen is the Santa Claus, you know. I know he's like, whatever, Woody or Buzz or whatever he is from Toy Story, but I just love the idea of him, you know, he puts on the suit and that's him. Like, why would you not put on the suit, do you know what I mean? If you found the suit out in your garden, you would put it on. Roped into a horrible thing. Okay, top 5 then. I'll have my top 5 here on DVD and Blu-ray collection, so I'll show these too. My number 5 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, with Chevy Chase and Leonard, Johnny Galecki, and who's the guy that plays Randy Quaid, Cousin Eddie. You get Julia Louis-Dreyfus as well, I believe, from Seinfeld. Such a stacked cast. I didn't even realise the cast is so good. But I've watched this numerous times. Watched it for the first time last year. Watched it numerous times this year. Watched it 3 times I think this year. Once last year. So it's just like the Naked Gun. You know what I mean? Like, he just wants to have a lovely Christmas. He just wants it to be nice for his family, and he just can't. The scene with where he's talking to the woman in the shop. And he keeps saying nipple, and he keeps saying breast, and it's just, that is the fucking funniest one. Or the one, you know, the light moment, you know, he's trying to light up the house and stuff. Again, physical comedy at its best. Just stupidity. Some quotes are just, you know, are timeless. So Christmas Vacation is my number 5. Number 4, which I don't know, I haven't seen on many people's lists. I don't know if it's a UK thing or not, but I don't think so. My number 4 is The Snowman. I said that really good. Number 4 is The Snowman. Very old film, and it's a very short film. How long is it? It is on for, I wish it would tell me. It would be fantastic if it told me. It does not tell me. Okay. But it's not on for very long. 26 minutes. That's how long it's on for. It is a absolute masterpiece of 26 minutes. I didn't know it was actually quick, actually. I thought it was at least half an hour. It is an absolute masterpiece. It just reminds me of Christmas. And the thing with this, I talked about this in my Christmas songs countdown video. I only watch this once a year, and it's every Christmas Eve when everybody's in bed and I go up to bed, and I put this on my laptop or my TV in my room or whatever, and it doesn't send me to sleep, but it kind of, you know, makes me feel, oh, you know, Christmas Day is tomorrow sort of thing. And the music's beautiful, and there's no speech at all, you know. The animation is so outdated, but it just still works, you know what I mean? So number 4 is The Snowman for me. Number 3, top 3 now. These are 3 that can, you know, you can switch them and you can put them in any order you want, but these are 3 of the greatest films ever made. That's not even a joke. 100%. 3 of the greatest films ever made. 3 of my favourite films ever. Number 3 is The Polar Express. Tom Hanks. I cannot tell you how many times I've watched this movie. It's a Robert Zemeckis film, also, you know, known from Back to the Future, and it's just Christmas. Do you know what I mean? Just a wee boy who, you know, might not believe in Santa, but maybe believes in Santa, and then, you know, the Polar Express comes and he gets on the train. Like, why would you get on the train? But then again, why wouldn't you? It's kind of like Harry Potter, I guess. And it goes and he meets these people, and they're all kind of the same. Like, what the hell are they doing? What is this? And he goes up on the roof and he meets a homeless guy who's telling him things about Christmas. Again, doesn't know what to believe. And then, you know, the train conductor's, you know, with a ticket with the word that describes the person. And then they get to the North Pole, and that bit of the North Pole with Santa Claus and all the elves is one of the most Christmassy things you'll ever see or hear. I think it's amazing. I think it's beautiful. And he gets back and he's got the bell and it rings in his ear, and then his dad goes to do it and it doesn't ring because he doesn't believe Santa Claus is real. It's just such an amazing film, and I cannot wait to watch it. I'll be watching this on the 23rd this year, and these other 2 that I'm going to show you, I'll be watching on the 24th. So The Polar Express is my number 3. My number 2, again, is in my top 10 favourite movies ever, and it is, of course, Elf. I do not understand. I'm watching some of these Christmas videos, top 10s, and Elf is like number 9. Like, what? It's at least top 5, you know. Top 3, number 2, Elf. One of the funniest films ever made. Will Ferrell at his absolute best. He doesn't need to swear. He doesn't need to do anything. He just needs to be Will Ferrell at Christmas time. And he is the funniest ever. Yeah, again, I didn't think it was a film I'd watch more than Polar Express, but this may be it. I've watched this every single year since 2003 when it was released. And I'll be watching it on Christmas Eve again. So yeah, just one of the most quoted films in my household. One of my, you know, family's favourite films ever. It brings our family together, I guess. And it was on my thankful list as well back in October or November. So yeah, Elf is my number 2. And my number 1, you know, always happens. Oh well, it's a joint winner, but it is because you can't differentiate between the 2. My number 1 is Home Alone 1 and 2. Don't dare make me pick between 1 and 2 because it ain't happening. And if I was to pick, I couldn't really. I'd probably pick the second one, to be honest with you, because, you know, New York is a bit of a dream for me, especially at Christmas time, and I had Home Alone 2 on VHS when I was younger, so I watched that one more. But I think I'd watch the sort of the fight sequence or the, you know, the burglary, the break-in scenes from the first one more. I don't know. Yeah, 2 of my favourite films ever made in my top 10 favourite films ever. My favourite Christmas film is a single film. You cannot differentiate between 1 and 2. They're just 2 of the most perfect films. There's nothing wrong with either of them. The music, the acting, the development of characters, Christmassy feel, and the moment at the end of Home Alone 2 when he reunites with his mother at the Christmas tree at the Rockefeller Center is dream stuff. Do you know what I mean? And you can't beat it. And I cannot wait to watch my top 3 or my top 5. I've seen Christmas Vacation, but these 4 films I have not watched this year yet, and it is literally going to be so exciting, so relaxing, because I've got things I still need to do before I can relax for Christmas. Christmas shopping wise, I've got an exam and stuff. I'm going to this concert tonight, 1975. So, you know, there's things I need to do before I can relax and fully get into the Christmas spirit, and I will be doing that on the 22nd or whatever when I finish. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. This might be my last video before Christmas, so everybody watching, please have a very, very, very safe, happy and Merry Christmas, and I'll be back around the new year doing my top 10 WWE matches of 2016, maybe my top 10 NXT matches if I can be bothered, my top, maybe something to do with music, I don't know yet, and my top 20 movies of 2016, plus a special video of talking about like sort of my top 10 movies that I watched for the first time this year, because I watched so many classics this year. So yeah, let me know what your favourite Christmas movies are. Thank you very much for watching. Get all the information for Twitter at Cm42TV and the podcast in the description box. Until next time, have a lovely Christmas and Ava fa Napoli! Ho, ho, ho!